morning, this is Deputy Booby, and we're going to be spending some tabletop time with the Core Essentials Executive Protection 1.75 inch belt. As you can see, this is currently kitted out to be a duty belt. I chose this model because it most cleanly lined up with what I wanted. So yeah, that's kind of what we're looking at. We'll just kind of get the bottom line up front stuff out of the way. This belt is well made, it performs well, the ratcheting mechanism performs as designed. The biggest benefit that I've noticed in this belt is that while wearing this belt, I switched from not wearing base layers at work to starting to wear base layers at work. And seamlessly, I was able to switch to that without having to resize my belt, which is something that I've had to do in years past. We'll just kind of I'll kind of line up how this differs from a traditional duty belt, and then ultimately give my reasoning for why this is going to be rotated out of my duty belt. So let's just get into it. So this is a pretty well marketed item. Everybody has a good idea of how this works. We have some teeth right here. We have a ratcheting mechanism, and it sort of feeds through here. Now your traditional duty belt, right? There would just be a buckle here, male and female, and just click. Right? But because this has this ratcheting mechanism, we need some real estate in order to make this work. So when we feed this through, we need space on this side, right? And we need space on this side. So unless you're willing to run pouches all the way back, or run pouches all the way back here and then pouches all the way back here, you're never really going to take full advantage of this system. And honestly, you don't really even need to, because you don't really, day to day, you don't need more than this amount of adjustment. I will say I have found it beneficial that when I go to write a report or something like that, I can just hit I can hit this little lever at the bottom, loosens up the belt, I can breathe a little bit easier, sit a little bit more comfortably. So that's kind of one part, right? The other part is that because of these ratcheting teeth, let's get this flipped over on this side, there's no real attachment mechanism for sort of this tail of the belt. So the only real way to mount something in this space, now keep in mind, when you mount something in this space, it affects that mechanism that I just described. You need something with a clip, like let's say this is my taser here, or this handcuff case. So with that in mind, when we get this thing all together, just kind of do inherently to how this works, we wind up having some dead real estate here. Typically, my pistol mags are a little bit closer to the buckle of my belt. And typically, I have a horizontal rifle mag that rests right about here. Because there's no attachment method here, and because we need space on both sides of this belt both sides of this buckle for this belt to work, it results in dead space in what is ultimately prime real estate. So that's really the crux of why I'm moving on from this belt. I am going to keep it because I might be an idiot and there might be some solution that you guys are going to be happy to point out to me. And I might dislike the next belt more than this one. I'm not unhappy with this belt by any means. I think that there is just this compromise that it's not something that I'm particularly ready to live with. Speculation, their EDC lineup probably works perfectly. As soon as we get clips involved, who cares about the Velcro and everything like that? Their EDC belts are probably fantastic, and I might order one myself because based on how well this is made and everything, and my conclusions about this, I think it would line up really well for EDC. But for duty belt, this is kind of my impressions. Let me know if you have any questions or feedback. And tell me if I'm an idiot and there's a solution right in front of me and I don't know. I appreciate it, guys. Have a good rest of your day.